Welcome to 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to our first weekly recap of the year.
We started in January. We finished this video in June.
That's one of the things of the firm. I don't think we give Dylan enough space to talk, and it's something we're going to build a policy on that.
Well, clearly somebody needs to speak enough to say the right fucking things, because these guys aren't saying what needs to be said.
Hey, on 2024, we're going to burn all of the boats, just a little bit, but not the whole way. That would be foolish.
It's important. You got to keep the head down, stay focused.
For sure. We're going to blow up the bridges behind us, but like enough so we can get back if we need to.
You don't want to be on the bridge when you blow it up, right?
But no, 2024, it looks to be a good year. We got lofty goals, which means we need to have really robust systems. So we're going to be building those fucking things out.
Oh, that's actually one thing I do want to say. Of course, I'm not done talking. I had a...
Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls, welcome to yet another CHG Weekly Recap, in which CHG recaps their week. Now, if you've been here before, you already know. And if you haven't, it's where we talk about, what the hell we got into over the last week. It's kind of a quick overview of what it's like in the life of these three law firm owners. And there's only three because we're missing Mr. John Sullivan, who has childcare responsibilities. And if you didn't know, we do personal injury cases. We are your South Florida personal injury law firm, but also Middle Florida personal injury and North Florida.
Thought we went through this.
We go from the south to the north, baby. East to the west, the whole thing. So anyway, let's get to it. Igor Hernandez, what did you get into this week, man?
So this week for me was most legal work. We have a trial coming up. The beginning of the trial period is next week. Probably doesn't get called the first week of the trial period, but we have to be ready. So we spent a lot of time just staffing it and building up what needs to be built up and just kind of getting it right. We had to do video demo of the expert. We had to do a couple other things as well. So that's taken up really most of my week. I also had lunch with a buddy of ours from the public defender's office. That was cool. Had lunch with a guy we tried a couple cases against on the defense side. That was kind of cool too. It's not often that we sit down with the opposite side and we have a good time and just hang out. And it's cool to do that. I think we should do that more often. And I think there's really no reason to be antagonistic, especially because really at the end of the day, a lot of these guys on both sides, we're just trying to do a job and do right by the client. And it's not often that people are legitimately just bad people doing sketchy shit, right? So like that's not the majority of lawyers. And so I just think that we get caught up in the battle and we kind of forget to get along, right? So it's cool to do that. And I think at least in our side, in the way that we operate in the firm, we always want to be professional and friendly and polite, but a lot of the times we don't get that back, right? So it was cool. It was cool to hang out. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole week, man. Just a lot of legal work and that lunch, maybe a meeting here and there, but nothing too exciting. What about you, Ken?
Been onboarding a new employee this week. We got another intake specialist coming in, and so I've been teaching her, been guiding her through the onboarding process. And it's mostly a template at this point, but there's some new parts that are getting added, which we were just talking about, because we just switched CRMs, and Papa learned to test.
Wait, who?
Papa. That's all right. Maybe you'll be Papa one day, but as for now, this is the only Papa in the frame. So some things are breaking because it wasn't tested properly. So I'm gonna go now and fix them to the extent that I can, and then we'll do some testing and see what's on the plate next. And I gotta tell myself, one thing at a time, baby, one thing at a time. So that's what I got into this week. Dylan, what about you, man?
Well, first, I want to apologize for both of my fucking heathen partners. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
Happy holidays. Are you doing a war on Christmas? Is that what this is?
No, I guess I'm just like simply the most conscientious and respectful people here. But it's funny coming from the guy that had no fucking, thought to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year to anybody. But that's a bit rich.
Dude, that's right. What are you doing?
I wasn't done. See, I get interrupted all the time. I mean, the next thing I was going to naturally go to was Kwanzaa.
That's one of the things of the firm. I don't think we give Dylan enough space to talk, and it's something we're going to build a policy on that.
Well, clearly somebody needs to speak enough to say the right fucking things, because these guys aren't saying what needs to be said. But yeah, this past week we just got back from the holidays, Christmas for me and my household with the family, and from New Year's, and it was a real great, little vacation, getting away, spend a lot of time with family time. I think past 6.5 years we've had our head down, focused, operating on all cylinders, right, guys?
Yeah.
And for me at least, it's very easy for me to get caught up in all the work and all the different things that we have kind of going on to try to help us get to where we need to go, but sometimes you don't take a breath and stop and spend enough time with family. So it was nice to be able to do that. This past week, as I was reintegrating back into the firm and getting things set up for 2024, I had a few different intakes. events, over here in Civil ERU, super important things we got going on. And, making sure some demands and a lot of different things that we're handling on the negotiation side towards the middle and end of December got taken care of at the beginning of this week. Some training. Frankly, as we transition into our 7th year, really, we're trying cases still. We're still doing certain selected production things, but a lot of what we do is a lot more high-level management focused stuff with our staff and just thinking about how we can improve on a weekly and monthly and quarterly basis. And then I met with, a future business partner, of ours, who wants to, work with us and send us cases and stuff like that. Was talking to us about, his interest in getting into the personal injury space and only doing personal injury cases. And, obviously we're really lucky and happy that he would think of us and consider us and want to work with us and send us cases. But more than anything, that he was, wants to meet like every few weeks just to kind of go over all the things that he's got on his plate and the cases that he's handling so that we have an opportunity to kind of look and see and add some value for him in terms of, what the cases are worth, what it is that he should be settling them for, and things of that nature, so that if it is something, too big for his plate or something that he thinks he might be able to benefit from our services, he can very seamlessly, refer us those cases. So that was something that we were able to do, or I was able to do this past week, and it's been good. I'm really excited. I think we're all really excited for what 2024 has to offer, and I just gotta say, I wish it was a 16-cylinder engine, because it's all about the cylinders, right, guys?
Hey, on 2024, we're gonna burn all of the boats,
Just a little bit.
but not the whole way. That would be foolish.
Just a little bit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
the boats
important.
a little bit.
It's important. You got to keep the head down, stay focused.
For sure. We're gonna blow up the bridges behind us, but like enough so we can get back if we need
Yeah.
to.
You don't want to be on the bridge when you blow it up, right?
But no, 2024, it looks to be a good year. We got lofty goals, which means we need to have really robust systems. So we're gonna be building those fucking things out.
Oh, that's actually one thing I do want to say. Of course, I'm not done talking. I had a good friend of mine. He actually reached out to me, and this was just like a hell of a compliment. We've been obviously, I think, for everybody that's in our circle and has seen us grow. Over the last year and a half, we've all been all about systems and policies and procedures and building in efficiencies in our firm. And I had a good buddy of mine that does operate a
Building
personal-
efficiencies.
Yes, don't know what that means. That other than what I said, but
Inefficiencies.
But then again, I did say law partner the other day, and somebody thought I said love partner. So I guess I got problems.
Would you blame him?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I guess it depends. I mean, I love my law partners like they were my love partners, so I guess it's okay. But what I was starting to say is that I had a good friend of mine reach out just in terms of different bottlenecks and issues that he was experiencing with his firm, and wanted to kind of know like how it is that we've been growing and how it is that we've been developing different systems and procedures and policies. Because he was having a specific bottleneck when it came to demand letters, gathering medical records, gathering medical bills, understand when the client's done with treatment, and then aggregating all of that information and finalizing the demand letters and getting them out the door. Because on the personal injury side, everybody knows that you don't get paid right when the case comes in. There's typically a time horizon of anywhere between 6 and 9 months, and sometimes longer. So that was a huge compliment for him to kind of reach out to us and just learn from us. I mean, it was very humbling. So that was cool. That was the other thing I took care of this week. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry to filibuster camp.
No, that's part of the
Igor.
policy. We're
Yeah.
getting you more time, bro. You
I
take
need
as
it.
much time as you need.
I appreciate it.
I may not be here the whole time, but
That's all right.
Anyway, so welcome to 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to our first weekly recap of the year.
We started in January. We finished this video in June.
Salud.